Shalom everybody, hope you're doing well. As we encounter another Shabbat, another portion, Parshat of the Torah, Parshat Vayeitzei. And right at the beginning of this Torah portion, we encounter the story of Yaakov, as he's fleeing from his brother Esav, who wants to harm him, and he's leaving the land of Israel. On his way out of Eretz Israel, he comes upon a place, and in that place he falls asleep. And when he falls asleep, he has this famous dream. Right? In the language of the Torah, that in this dream, he sees a sulam mutzav arza v'osho magia shemayim. Just those words are so beautiful and poetic that he sees this ladder, mamish like standing on the ground and reaching, and in its head, the top of the ladder reaches the heavens. Right? There's so much in those few words. So many Torah commentators teach us so many beautiful things about it. And one thing I was thinking about those words is like this. You know, so often, sometimes in our world, we hear, stop, with your head in the clouds, right? And while that usually has a negative connotation, we shouldn't only live this world with our head in the clouds. We shouldn't only have our head in the clouds, but we have to realize that the world we live in, the physical world, is not the only world. What we see with our eyes is not the only reality. And on some level, we should have our head in the clouds, right? As long as we have our feet on the ground, it's okay sometimes, maybe more than sometimes, to have our head in the clouds, but in a certain kind of very focused, very aware kind of way. Right? So with this ladder on the ground, reaching towards the heavens, we can learn, we can extract this idea, this teaching, that says, yes, we should live in both worlds. We are physical beings, but we're not only physical beings, right? We are beings made up of body, but also of soul. Don't forget that. And so too this world. This world has a body, the physical world, but also has a soul. It has a spiritual aspect to it. There's a spiritual entity. There are spiritual worlds in our tradition. When we look in the right places, and there are a lot of right places, it's screaming to us, telling us, don't forget this. Right? Don't be tricked by the physical world. Don't be led astray. Don't let your eyes lead you astray. We say that twice a day, 3 times a day when we say the Shema, that our eyes can lead us astray. Not only with the temptations of this world, but just simply this world could trick us into thinking that what we see is what we get, that it begins and it ends with the physicalness that we see all around us. Right? But the truth is, it's not that way. Right? And the ladder in Yaakov's dream comes to teach us that yes, have our feet planted securely, firmly in this world, because this is the world in which we live, this is the world in which we act, in which we fix, in which we grow, in which we achieve, right? But you have to know that there's another world, there's another reality, right? The two of them are complementary, they go together, only together do they form a whole perfect, complete picture of what this world is really all about, and why it was created in the first place, right? But if we're led astray, and if we're led to believe that it ends, it begins, and it ends with the physicalness that we see around us, we're missing a huge part of what this world is about, right? And missing a huge part of what we're supposed to be doing in this world, right? And bringing it back to ourselves, we're supposed to remember that, yes, I'm not only this body, but I am this soul, and the soul is what charges my body. The soul is what gives life to my body. The soul is what gives meaning and purpose to my body, right? But again, it's so easy to be tricked, right? And we have to be reminded, we have to remember. I remember years ago, traveling, I was on a road trip somewhere in America, and I remember it was getting towards nighttime, and the stars were so beautiful. And I was thinking as we're driving that there's all these billboards, trying to attract us, inspire us, convince us, persuade us to turn off the next exit of the highway and go to some gas station, store, restaurant, something. And I was looking up at these billboards. It made me realize that these billboards, these signs in our world, make us stop looking just at those signs. We don't look beyond them and see, the world, so to speak, above this world that we live in, right? The world of the heavens, the world beyond this world, right? And our physical reality, especially our modern day reality, maybe not on purpose, who knows what, but invest so much time and energy in keeping our eyes down here in this world. Don't look too much above. Don't look too much beyond. Right? Just stay in this world, because this world has everything you would want. right? So it wants us to believe, right? And just like, we could kind of, be stuck in this world and forget to look up, never even realize we can look up, right? And not know that there's this other world, not know about this ladder that's firmly planted on this ground but reaches the heavens. Same thing again with our body. We can just be stuck so much in just looking at my body, my physical needs every single day. I have to eat, I have to take care of myself, and this is not, we can totally just be led astray. I don't even know what the soul is. I have no idea that I even have a soul, right? The Torah in general, in this week's Torah portion in specific, right, is telling us, remember, don't forget, right, you have a soul. The world has a soul. There's a spiritual purpose to everything. The physical world is on some level created in order for the spiritual purpose to become reality, to become manifest, right? And we learn from other places as well, specifically Jewish mysticism, Kabbalah, that everything we see in this world, right, has its place. Everything in this world, right, plays a part of the whole story of creation. Right? And just like Chassidut teaches very deeply that our soul is a chelik of Hashem L'mala Mamish, that our soul is mamish, a piece of God, right? Is mamish, a piece of God, and that connects us to this, upper reality, this pure reality, this true reality, this complete and perfect reality. So too, everything in creation, not just us, everything in creation. Everything in creation is just a physical manifestation of a spiritual reality from up above. And if we can walk around this world with these kinds of eyes, right, seeing the world for what it truly is, even if we get a glimpse, a taste, or something of that reality, we can see the world in a whole different light. Right? Our eyes are capable of seeing that if we could achieve that. Right? Seeing everything, ourselves, other people, even objects, all as physical manifestations of a spirituality, and seeing that, once we can see that, once we can start to understand that, we can see everything plays a role. Right? In the story of myself, in the story of humanity, in the story of creation, everything, nothing is mutar, nothing is extra, nothing is just by chance. Everything is woven into the story. And when we can live on that level, that's already the level of Mashiach. Right? That's already the level of redemption, of beyond, of a future reality to come. Right? And when we live in that reality, we can see that our purpose for being here, right, and the world's purpose for existing is one and the same. My purpose and the objects around me, their purpose, one and the same. Everything becomes unified, right? The purpose of everything becomes so, as you go up from this physical reality to the higher spiritual realities, we go from dichotomies and diversity and separateness, we go to oneness and to unity, right? And when we can go higher and higher in our consciousness and our awareness of what life is all about, we can see the unity of all things, how everything is playing a part. There's nothing greater, there's nothing lesser, there's nothing better, nothing worse. It's all unified, it's all interwoven into the same story, right? The story of creation. A lot of things, a lot of thoughts, right? Hoping, working towards a day when our eyes could be opened wider and wider and wider, and seeing this true spirituality, true spiritual reality more in our lives. And this is the month of Kislev, the month of Hanukkah, and we're getting ready for Hanukkah. And on Hanukkah, what do? We just look at the lights. Right? We're looking at the lights, and in the lights we learn purify our eyes. It's a month of seeing the light, and in those Hanukkah lights is the hidden light of creation. And it's giving us a chance to see what's really behind the scenes, see what's really there, right, behind all of these physical screens, these physical separations, right? Many, many things, but we should be blessed, right? This quote unquote simply, but it's not so simple, right? Remember, recognize our soul, right? The soul of the world, and to work on ourselves and help each other, right? To grow in awareness and grow in consciousness and really see the world for what it is. This physical manifestation of a spiritual reality, a spiritual truth, right? A spiritual story, a spiritual destination, a spiritual goal. B'ezrat Hashem, we should all help each other merit this together, achieve this together, create this together, and really see a world that is waiting to be seen, right? And create a world that is waiting to be revealed. Lots of love and blessing from the Holy Land. All the best. Be well.